Welcome, everyone. Today we review BlackRock's top 10 geopolitical risks for the year. Now, you might be thinking, BlackRock? The investment firm? Yes, that's exactly who we're talking about. When the world's largest asset manager comments on global instability, people pay attention. These risks are crucial for understanding the current global landscape and making informed decisions. This isn't just about market volatility. It is about the forces shaping our world, the potential for conflict, and the challenges facing us all. At the top of BlackRock's list is the increasing tension between the United States and China. This rivalry impacts various sectors, including trade, technology, military strength, and global influence. The primary point of contention is Taiwan. Any escalation in this area could potentially involve the entire region and the world. Additionally, the South China Sea is a significant area of concern, with Beijing's assertive actions drawing international attention. These issues extend beyond territorial disputes, reflecting China's ambition to influence the global order and challenge the United States' established dominance. The situation involves more than just military activities. Economic factors are also involved. China's export of excess industrial capacity, particularly in steel and aluminum, affects global markets by lowering prices and impacting jobs worldwide. Furthermore, some Chinese financial institutions have been reported by U.S. intelligence to provide financial support to Russia, mitigating the effects of Western sanctions. This situation highlights the complex interconnections in our globalization. Closely intertwined with the U.S. and China rivalry is the accelerating decoupling in technology. These building blocks of the future include artificial intelligence, semiconductors, and quantum computing. The United States is pulling out all the stops to maintain its technological edge, imposing tariffs on Chinese goods, restricting exports of critical tech, even launching investigations into Chinese tech companies operating on American soil. Even Chinese electric vehicles are affected. The United States just slapped tariffs on them too, citing concerns about unfair competition and potential security risks. And the Biden administration isn't letting up, folks. They're going after what they call frontier technologies, areas like AI and quantum computing, where China has made significant strides. This isn't just about economics anymore. It's about national security, about who gets to control the technologies that will shape the 21st century. The war in Ukraine grinds on, a bloody stalemate with no end in sight, but the danger goes far beyond Ukraine's borders. This is a proxy war, a clash between Russia and the West, with NATO countries pouring billions of dollars in military aid into Ukraine. And it's getting more dangerous by the day. Russia's recent threats to use tactical nuclear weapons have sent chills down the spines of world leaders. This is brinkmanship on a terrifying scale, and the potential for miscalculation or escalation is very real. And let's not forget about the other players in this deadly game. Iran supplying drones to Russia, North Korea, reportedly sending artillery shells, and China walking a tightrope, providing economic support to Moscow while trying to avoid Western sanctions. This conflict is a tinderbox, and any spark could ignite a wider conflagration. From the escalating conflict in Gaza to the simmering tensions with Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Middle East remains a region on edge. Iran, with its nuclear ambitions and support for militant groups, casts a long shadow. The recent attacks on U.S. bases in Syria and Iraq are a stark reminder of the volatile situation on the ground. And with the Iran nuclear deal on life support, the risk of a regional nuclear arms race is growing by the day. Then there are the internal divisions, the sectarian violence, the humanitarian crises, all adding fuel to the fire. The Middle East is a region where ancient grudges and modern rivalries collide, where even a small spark can ignite a major conflagration. The threat of terrorism remains a clear and present danger, with extremist groups adapting and evolving in the face of counterterrorism pressure. While the so-called Islamic State may have lost its territorial caliphate, it's far from defeated, continuing to inspire and incite attacks around the world. Al-Qaeda too is showing signs of resurgence, rebuilding its networks and plotting a comeback. And it's not just the big names we need to worry about. From lone wolf attackers radicalized online to homegrown extremists, the threat is diffuse and difficult to predict. And with the rise of online propaganda and encrypted communication platforms, it's becoming easier than ever for extremist groups to spread their message of hate and recruit new followers. In the 21st century, the battleground isn't just land, sea, and air, it's cyberspace. And the weapons are lines of code, capable of crippling critical infrastructure, disrupting economies, and even sowing chaos and discord within societies. As geopolitical competition heats up, so too does the risk of major cyber attacks. Think about it. A sophisticated cyber attack could shut down power grids, cripple financial institutions, or even compromise military command and control systems. And it's not just a nation, states we need to worry about. Cybercriminal gangs, often operating with impunity from countries like Russia and China, are becoming bolder and more sophisticated, launching ransomware attacks against hospitals, schools, and businesses, holding data hostage for ransom. Chapter 7. Emerging Markets. A world of uncertainty. From Latin America to Africa to Asia, emerging markets are facing a perfect storm of challenges. The war in Ukraine has upended global supply chains, driving up food and energy prices and fueling inflation. Many emerging economies, already struggling with high debt levels and weak governance, are now teetering on the brink of crisis. Sri Lanka's recent economic collapse, which led to widespread protests and political turmoil, is a stark warning of what can happen when vulnerabilities converge. And let's not forget the political risks. The global democratic recession is hitting emerging markets particularly hard, with authoritarian leaders consolidating power and cracking down on dissent. From Brazil to Turkey to the Philippines, elections in 2024 will be crucial tests for democracy and could have far-reaching consequences for regional stability. Chapter 8. North Korea, a nuclear time bomb. North Korea, under the iron rule of Kim Jong-un, remains one of the most isolated and unpredictable regimes on Earth. Its relentless pursuit of nuclear weapons and ballistic missile technology poses a grave threat to regional and global security. Recent satellite imagery suggests that North Korea is expanding its nuclear facilities, and experts believe it is only a matter of time before it has the capability to strike the United States mainland. And with tensions running high on the Korean peninsula, the risk of miscalculation or accidental escalation is ever present. Any conflict on the peninsula would have devastating consequences, potentially drawing in regional powers like China and Japan and escalating into a wider conflict with global implications. Chapter 9. Climate change, the existential threat. The climate crisis is not just an environmental issue, it's a geopolitical one, with the potential to exacerbate existing tensions, drive mass migration, and spark conflict over scarce resources. And while the science is clear and the urgency undeniable, global action to address climate change remains woefully inadequate. Developed economies, despite their pledges to reduce emissions and provide financial assistance to developing countries, are failing to meet their commitments. The United States, in particular, is facing growing pressure to live up to its promises, but domestic political gridlock and the influence of fossil fuel interests continue to hamper progress. The upcoming United States election could be a make or break moment for climate action, not just for the United States, but for the world. Chapter 10. Europe. A continent divided, Europe, once a beacon of unity and stability, is facing a confluence of challenges that threaten to unravel the post-World War II order. The ongoing war in Ukraine has exposed deep divisions within the European Union over how to respond to Russian aggression, with some member states, particularly those in Eastern Europe, pushing for a more hawkish stance, while others, concerned about the economic fallout, favor a more cautious approach. And then there's the energy crisis. Europe's heavy reliance on Russian gas has left it vulnerable to energy blackmail, forcing it to scramble for alternative sources of supply and raising concerns about energy shortages and soaring prices this winter. These challenges are testing the limits of European solidarity and raising questions about the future of the European project. So there you have it, BlackRock's top 10 geopolitical risks. It's a sobering assessment, to be sure, but also a call to action. We can't afford to be bystanders in our own future. Thank you for joining us in exploring BlackRock's top 10 geopolitical risks. The world is changing at a dizzying pace, and the challenges we face are complex and interconnected. But knowledge is power, and by understanding the risks, we can better prepare for the challenges ahead. Stay informed and stay prepared for the challenges ahead. Don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content.